Hey everyone, so the question that you're trying to answer in this specific area of the Nature Center is how does the river impact the Nature Center? And so as you think about this question, I really want you to think through what you're noticing and what you see as it relates to the Nature Center and the river. So here's a picture of the actual stream that we crossed when we walked into the Nature Center. It was the one that we saw underneath the red bridge that we walked over. And this is an example even of how in a small way streams start to flow into rivers. And these streams, notice, they change the way the river looks or the way that the ground look, because you can see the transition as you look into the water. This is a small way to see how rivers impact our Nature Center. The two big words that I want you to think about or to know are erosion and habitat. Here you see a river that's at its source, the top of a mountain, and you can see how fast that river is flowing and how it's taking soot, rocks, dirt down that mountain. That impact is called erosion, when land changes because of the flow of water. And this water is changing the land, believe it or not, over time. Because as it flows, it starts to carry down and deposit those rocks and dirt and soot into other areas of the landform. And so when the river starts to slow, those rocks start to form and start to get dropped off and level out in these plains. And these are great places for farming to happen and for plants to grow, which is just like what happens in the Central Valley. Here is a picture of some cattails, some reeds that are growing next to the side of a river. And so these are an example of how rivers provide water to plants so that those plants can grow. But not only do the plants grow, but also these growing plants provide food and shelter for animals, which then support all habitats and ecosystems. Habitats are the places where plants and animals live, and ecosystems, the places where plants and animals, how they relate to each other. So here is an example of a river habitat and all the animals that are dependent on each other within a river habitat. So here you have a heron that's eating a fish, and that fish lived in the river. Here you have a snake that's eating a frog, that's eating a grasshopper, and that grasshopper is eating the grass, and that grass has grown because of the river. And so you will see some specific examples in this picture of the ways that rivers provide life and sources for ecosystems or food chains, just by them flowing through an area of land. Really cool. Even down to the point where we see fish, and those fish eat other fish, and then those big fish then get eaten by things like hawks and eagles. But here, as it scrolls down, you'll see there are even microscopic organisms that are benefiting from rivers. That's why you should never drink river water, because there's microscopic organisms living inside of it. And so as we transition, here's a little video of the Kings River, which is the river that flows right through the Sanger Nature Center. I want you to think about, with your partner or with your team, how this river is changing the land and how it's providing habitat for animals and plants. So here is our question: how does the river impact the Nature Center? Get ready to add some of this new information to your model. Thanks a lot.